Welcome to Game 15 of the 2018 MRDA Championships here in Salem, Oregon, hosted by Portland's Bridgetown Menace and Lane County Concussion. I am Julia Sleazer.
I'm Champ Unkind, and we are about to watch that third place game.
Yes. So who will we see playing?
Well, it's going to be Toulouse Roller Derby, the Quad Guards taking on the Vancouver Murder in what is a surprise matchup because, you know, Vancouver was really the big bracket buster this weekend.
Yes.
In terms of, you know, Southern Discomfort was the predicted winner. I mean, they were the number 3 seed. You usually want to go with the favorites. That's why it's called an upset.
Right.
But Vancouver fought very hard to get here. It's going to be a fun game.
No, I'm really excited to see this matchup. So why don't we start off? Would you like to introduce the Quad Guards, please?
I would. Let's go ahead, bring this up on our board here. And for the Quad Guards, hailing from Toulouse, number 06, Thorting. Number 1212, Moshpit no Jutsu. Number 13, Mr. Furio. Number 137, Deep Turtle. Number 14, Firestarter. Number 1789, Braveheart. Number 18, Yas Lemonas. Number 192, Big Jim. Number 2, Slash Gordon. Number 213, Captain Flem. Number 23, Bonjour John. Number 31, Angry Bear. Number 322, Gatto. Number 5, Let Rotissiere. Number 66, Toos Toos. Number 911, Jabba the Butt. And number 95, Hygiene Nick.
All right, and for Vancouver Murder, we've got 00 Bennett, 10 Mrs. Testosterone, 110 Mr. Testosterone, 01 Big Sexy, 100 Scott Slamilton, 17 Zimmer, 1936 Harrison Ford, 256 Morrison, 31 Bruiseberry Pie, 338 Flustercluck, 37 Stark, 4 Stand Aside, 56 Iron Fist, 7 T Groves, and 8 Lodge.
Toulouse came in as the number 4 seed, ranked number 4 in the MRDA. Vancouver as the 7th seed, number 7 in MRDA, because that's usually how the seeding works.
I think it's the first 9. Oh, I thought it was the first 9 seeds here actually matched their rankings, and then after that it was a little wiggly between the rankings and the seeds.
You are absolutely right. It was the first 9 seeds. Of course, first top 8 have the automatic qualifier.
Right.
Sorry, words are hard. I was forgetting
you're
how
fine.
English works. maybe I should help Toulouse. But we will have... Yeah, this is a third, fourth place game, and there are no teams from the United States in it. So, yeah, it's a first time no American teams from the United States in the third place game. This is going to be an exciting one, and we're about to find out what's going to happen here. It's going to be on the jam line, Thortank versus Mr. Testosterone in our first matchup.
All right. Already underway, Murder playing in red. Doing a great job keeping this 3 brace up front, led by Bruiseberry. Through supernaturally almost is Mr. Test. Oh, sorry.
No, it's Thortank.
Oh, gosh.
Mr. Testosterone right there with him. They came out at about the same time. Thortank now with a slight positional advantage. He's just going to call it off, seeing that pack speeding up. Yeah, like you were saying, Vancouver in red and black, and Toulouse in red and black.
I suppose Vancouver is in red and gray.
And white.
And then it's black and red.
There's a lot of red and a lot of black.
You know, the thing
is
red is my favorite color, so I'm like, this is the best game that's ever happened.
You're welcome, Julia Sleazer.
Yeah. It's my birthday.
We totally did this for you.
Yeah.
Nothing after the first jam.
A 0-0 to start off the game. It's going to be Yas Lemonas facing off against Stark. Both of these jammers clearly have been high in the rotation for each of their teams.
Yeah, a big reason why these two teams are where they are.
Certainly.
In this tournament.
Stand Aside, last one to nearly lay hands on Yas Lemonas.
Yas Lemonas is the lead jammer, approaching the pack. Looking for room, gets bounced backwards.
The pack now stood on the straightaway. Yas is through. That is 5 points, the first 5 points of the game. Go to Toulouse.
Yeah, on the second jam. Took about 40 seconds to get it. Now back on a scoring pass, looking for room. Nothing opening up. Now something does open up to the outside. 1 to beat past the final blocker, Stark. That's going to be 5 on the board for Yas Lemonas. There was a star pass to Bennett.
Bennett just now coming out. Oh, gosh, it looks like he got Oh, okay.
He got a penalty.
He got penalized. I was like, did he get clocked in the spine somehow? Okay, no. He got a penalty having a seat in the box as...
Mental penalty.
Not the... Oh, he's putting the star on. Oh, he is sitting...
Yes.
I'm sorry. There is a laptop.
So
and
it is
cutting off that chair.
It is a power jam on behalf of Vancouver for Toulouse.
And, of course, lead. I mean, this is best case scenario for Toulouse. They do freeze him in the box, stood up, so there's just a few seconds for a power start, and 20 points in that jam. So 20 points, period, for Toulouse right now. Vancouver still sitting at 0.
It's going to be number 13, Mr. Furio, putting on the star on this power start. Bennett still in the Rydell penalty box, so he will remain the jammer whether he likes it or not. I don't know his feelings towards that. I will not speculate.
Bah. Speculate wildly. That's the only way to do it.
Off the stride 5 jam line into the pack. Mr. Furio looking for room to the inside, and that's the initial pass, but no pass, no penalty. He will not be lead jammer. Bennett released from the Rydell penalty box.
Wow.
That was a nice hit by the pivot. Number 322, Gato, which I recently found out does not mean cat in Spanish.
Oh, what?
I was just as disappointed as you.
Since when?
Google told me it.
Wait, in French it may not. In
Spanish it does, not in French.
Okay.
Did I say Spanish?
You did, and I was confused, and I
Words are hard.
Almost started crying. Oh yeah, French for cat is the shot.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yes, I can't pronounce that.
Or at least that's what I was told. It might have been somebody just being obnoxious because I'm.
Well,
I'm American.
Bennett is the lead jammer after he was released from the Rydell penalty box. 4 points, though, picked up by Mr. Furio. So 33-0, but it looks like Bennett will get some before he calls it off. Let's see. 1 point.
Hey, you know what? Vancouver is now on the board.
But 13 points for Toulouse.
It's true.
It's true. Only 2 penalties so far, both going to Vancouver skaters. Nobody currently occupying the Rydell penalty box.
Lodge taking the line for Vancouver Murder.
It's going up against Captain Flem of Toulouse. Everybody moving towards that vault 31 pivot line. As Captain Flem to the outside, and that's another lead jammer in favor of Toulouse. Lodge gets pushed to the inside, going to have to recycle all the way behind that vault 31 pivot line.
He has snapped the star off, and he does have it in hand. I'm not sure if he actually has intention to pass it to Morrison.
Yeah, they're quite a bit away from each other, so at least not at the moment, but some good defense by Toulouse getting in the way.
Worst to that is Toulouse is ready to keep them stood away from each other.
Exactly, yeah.
In the meantime, back on the ranch, 5 more points goes to Toulouse.
And
right now a 10-point jam for Captain Flem.
Absolutely. Captain Flem reapproaching the pack, looking to pick up some more points. Still a minute 5 left in the jam. On that inside line, going to have to recycle. Good hit there by number 4 of Vancouver, Stand aside, whose name is not that hard to pronounce.
It's not.
It's been a long tournament, but a fun one.
Stand aside is an amazing blocker. He's actually originally one of the founding members of Puget Sound Outcast before Vancouver had their own men's team, and being an actual, I'm not sure, Vancouveran. I'm not sure.
What's the term?
Vancouveronian. I'm not positive. Resident of the city of Vancouver, I should say.
We'd like to apologize to everybody in that city currently listening.
Actually, I would like to say hello. I love Vancouver. We've done a couple of tournaments out there, and I used to just visit there a lot. And it's beautiful. The guys from Vancouver and ladies from Vancouver have always been really welcoming and nice hosts. But no, I don't know how to say that you live in the city. But anyways, Stan lives in Vancouver, so he joined the Vancouver team. It all made sense, and look at him now.
Absolutely. After a 19-point jam from Toulouse, it is lead jammer once again going to a Toulouse jammer. That would be Mosh Pit no Jutsu. Mr. Testosterone donning the star for Vancouver. Mr. Testosterone taking some nasty hits inside the pack. Gato pushing him to the outside. No, Mosh Pit no Jutsu through for 5 points.
Nicely done. It is initial has been completed by Mr. Testosterone. He is about half a lap away, but the pack has stopped just beyond the jammer line. Mosh Pit is going to call it off about halfway through the pack. Does not look like he got any points on that pass. It is 5 points for the entire jam. Toulouse at 57, Vancouver still at 22-48 left in this half.
It's going to be no, that's not Mr. Furio. Excuse me. That is Yas Leminas.
And that is Stark.
Which Stark? Rob? Bran? Ned?
Tony.
Okay, Tony. There we go.
It's Carrie. that is actually Carrie Stark.
There we go. I was like, wait, am I missing one?
No.
The
missing Stark brother.
The famous Stark of Winterfell and Iron Man.
There you go. No, he's like Iron Man's little brother. He's the polite one. Yeah.
Please stop attacking the world. 5 points on the board for Yas Leminas. 62 points now total. As another Toulouse lead jammer is going to take advantage of the situation. Vancouver's defense just has not been able to catch up. But we've seen a few games this weekend start this way, and then the team behind come back. So it would not surprise me now. I mean, this is exactly what Vancouver did to Southern Discomfort in their first game.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, as long as the point differential doesn't become too great,
no,
you may see something similar.
Absolutely, because I mean, let's face it, this Toulouse defense is very strong as well.
Absolutely amazing. It's mind-boggling how they keep up such energy. See, stand aside, trying to sweep aside the Toulouse blockers to try to get Stark back, who in his notes did mention he is considered nice Stark, but he said it was relative. But
I'm going to need a clarification on that, because that is very vague.
I thought it was funny.
Oh, I'm not disagreeing with you, but still want clarification.
Perhaps we can get him for the interview.
Maybe. Let's try. It's going to be Lodge putting on the star for Vancouver. I believe that is Mr. Furio. Yay, I'm right.
Hooray! Lead to jammer status does go to Mr. Furio, zinging across the track. Of course, as we've seen Mr. Furio before, as I'm sure you have, he's known for his speed and, of course, Fury.
Big Sexy with a big elbow, knocking down the jammer. Furio, one to beat to the inside, picking up 5 points. First 5 points on the jam. Took about 25 seconds to get them. Star stash by Lodge, going stealth mode. Furio back into the pack, gonna call it off. Let's see if he got any. None for Vancouver. And another 4 for Toulouse, now 81-1. For those of you doing math, that's an 80-point differential. Under 20 minutes remaining. As we're about to hit jam number 8.
There's going to be an official timeout.
I believe this looks like is a team timeout taken by Vancouver. And this team timeout brought to us by Rydell. Shout out to Rydell Skates for sponsoring the 2018 MRDA Championships. Of course, we'd love to thank our host leagues once again. We've done it before. We're going to keep doing it, whether you like it or not.
It's been amazing.
It is the Bridge. They are the Bridgetown Menace, putting on a terrific show, and also co-sponsor or co-venture with the Lane County Concussion.
Mm-hmm. I'm always so proud for the teams when they do such a successful event. And of course, I've never been disappointed, but I still feel like this great sense of pride in the MRDA and the teams when we have such an amazing tournament, and this has been no different.
Absolutely. Great camaraderie, great sportspersonship, just everything you can ask for. We've seen a lot of heated contests, but in the end, everyone's been shaking hands and just having a good time. And I mean, that's what we're here for, you know. If you're here to make millions of dollars, you're in the wrong sport.
I'm here to spend millions of dollars.
Exactly.
I'd like to shout out to Titchborn, who is cheering on the Vancouver murder. Sorry not to see you this time.
Well, when we get back, it is going to be Mosh Pit Nojutsu and Mr. Testosterone as our jammers, both jammers inside the pack looking for room. Mosh Pit push to the inside, and Mr. Testosterone with a penalty. That is a forearm. So a power jam again now going to Toulouse and another lead jammer.
Slash Gordon pressing Scott Slamilton out. Scott is going to come back.
But misses. So 5 points on the board. That was Morrison with the last block.
I was just kind of curious what Slamilton's plan was going to be there, but he just rejoined his teammates and got ready. But it was a Mosh Pit Jiu-Jitsu really didn't have much of a problem getting through the pack that time. This jammer penalty, as always, we always say, like, well, jammer penalties, am I right? But it's true. Like, we've already got a 90-point score differential. It's going to be a little bit painful right now.
I don't know how it looked to you. Mr. Testosterone going back to the box on another low block. When him and Bennett came out of the box, it looked like twins.
Yeah.
So 3 more points picked up by Toulouse. Yeah, they both came flying out of the box into the pack and just lost their footing, hitting and getting low. And we do have an injury on the track. Is number 2 Slash Gordon of Toulouse.
Paul Messerschmidt. All teams should now be required to have collar jerseys because they look classy. Go Toulouse.
It does. I agree. I 100% agree. If you are listening, and I announce for you, Cleveland.
No pressure.
New jerseys.
No pressure. I'm just saying, no that's
pressure.
A message from Paul. I'm just saying.
Gary, if you're listening.
That poor guy.
And we see some of the St. Louis gatekeepers starting to get ready. Or something like it.
There's 3. Is that 3
Wait,
Dallases?
Are there 3 Dallas? Okay,
Dallases.
I thought one of them actually was Dallas for a second.
She's like, oh man, this is the weirdest mirror. Beautiful.
She's like, when did I grow this beard?
I don't remember this, but yet here I am, and here I am. Huh.
Okay, I'm not going to lie, for a second, I thought one of them actually was her.
Oh, no.
And then I saw them approach her, and then I'm like, no, wait, that's not her.
All right, back to the track.
Fortunately, Slash Gordon able to get up by his own accord.
That was a shot of the wonderful Christopher Walken, who has been helping out with the logistics side of things this weekend, and has been wonderful to me.
Also, best mutton chops.
I know, right? There's been some pretty serious, amazing facial hair this weekend, I have to say.
And then there's mine. Just normal.
Just
oh,
just
okay.
some
Just
no,
there.
I mean, this is the best.
It is. This could be a beard convention.
This is
really good.
The best normal beard I've ever seen.
You're welcome to the Men's Roller Derby Association Beard and Tattoo Convention 2018, as well as championships.
Please see my arm for this competition.
So we're going to get back to the track. Mr. Testosterone will start off in the Rydell penalty box. Mr. Furio. It sounds like we're in school right now.
Oh, no, that's terrifying. Oh, wow. That was just amazing.
Yeah. What would Brian Boitano do? Something like that. Picking up lead jammer for Toulouse. Now back in the pack looking for some points. He's got a 3-wall in front of him. A multiplayer block sending number 17 Zimmer to the Rydell penalty box. And 5 points picked up by Toulouse. 1 point shy of that century mark. Mr. Testosterone also out of the Rydell penalty box.
Mr. Furio coming through. Mr. Testosterone really close to his heels and just having completed his initial 9 points already picked up by Furio. I suspect he's going to pop hips past and call it. Yeah. Let's see if, yeah, it actually worked out. 2 more points for Mr. Testosterone. It's that narrow thing because just earlier we saw opposing jammers, the jammer in the lead, or I should say the lead jammer, had decided to become offensive, and in doing this one block gave up 2 points to the other team, which didn't make a huge difference, but we saw it again just now. We're going to time it to the absolute last second and bleed out the clock. You just gave up 2 points.
Interesting down start for the 2 jammers, Yas Lemonos and Stark. They pop up off the 5-stride jam line. Now everybody about to cross the Vault 31 pivot line, and another lead jammer going to Toulouse. Yas Lemonos in control.
Pack just around turn 1. We're getting to the top of the apex. Stark has just been having a heck of a time getting past these blockers today.
Yeah, it's like he's fighting the Lannisters or something.
Definitely.
5 points on the board for Toulouse. First 5 of the jam. Did take about 30 seconds off the clock.
Stark getting knocked out to the outside is going to recycle back.
as everybody's getting hit, and the pack is now very spread apart. Yes, Lemonas through for another 5 points, bringing it up to 10 on the jam.
Stark is through, having snapped that star off his head. That is his initial completed. The pack at a standstill at turn 4. Zimmer up front, trying to take one last hit on Yas Lemonas. Yas going to go ahead and call it off. No time for Stark to pick up any more points. So Vancouver sits at 3, Toulouse now at 113.
And great awareness and footwork by Yas Lemonas at the end of that jam. He could have gotten knocked out, but was able to keep his foot barely in bounds.
Right.
Stay in, get that point, call it off.
I'd like to give a shout out to Rhino, listening from Wales, as well as Butch, who is a cat.
You know how to get on the stream a shout out if you send a picture of your cat.
Hashtag Cats of Murda. Just saying.
It's Thortank and Flustercluck. You have to say that name very slowly.
I've been saying that guy's name for 4 years. I heard him talking outside about how he's waiting for an announcer to mess up. And I'm like, challenge accepted.
Please don't be me. Please don't be me. Please don't be me.
Yeah, now that I've gotten all cocky about it.
Nobody has made their way through the pack yet. Never mind, I lied. It's Flustercluck breaking that lead jammer streak of Toulouse.
That is the first time Vancouver has gotten lead at all in this game.
So that would make 10 in a row.
It's
on
true.
The 11th jam, yes.
Look at you with your math.
Yeah, because I can see 11 jams, and if there's one, sometimes I can math, even with a University of Cincinnati education.
Sounds like a fancy school.
That was a head shake. And 4 points, no pass, no penalty from Flustercluck. It is a power jam, it looks like, with Thortank in the right L penalty box, star in hand. Oh, and a forearm on Flustercluck. He is going to go to the right L penalty box, and we're going to have a switch.
That name makes you nervous.
It does.
It
really does.
There's like a bead of sweat.
No, that's because I'm wearing wool. Wool was a bad choice.
It said it was going to be 70, and you're like, I better pack the wool.
Well, it wasn't this morning. The weather kind of swings a little wildly here.
I know about it.
I'm not used to that. I'm used to it just being cold.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay, so
Oh, my word.
9 points, though, for Vancouver, crossing into the double digits. Flustercluck. With the
wow, there was a
That
huge
was a big
hit from
hit.
the 1789. That is brave hurt.
I'm sure that was hurt.
Yeah,
That hurt, and it was brave to go up against him.
Sure.
Thortank out of the pack and out of the track.
I don't know if he even went up against him. I think he was just trying to live his life. And Braveheart was not.
He was having none of
You
it.
could live it better on the floor. It's not true.
No. 4 points.
So,
4 more points, though, picked up by Vancouver. 13 total on the jam.
yeah, so most of Vancouver's points picked up in this jam. This is the second. Oh, let's see.
Whoa.
Oh, wait. Sorry, I was about to try to do math, but you know what? I'll save us all some time.
We do have a wonderful producer with us, Brutiful Monstar, who's feeding us all the information we possibly need, as well as our Cracker Jack production team.
And you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him do math.
No, absolutely
saying?
not. Maybe with maybe if you give him a calculator, I don't know.
I don't.
I don't know if horses use calculators. I don't know if they have
Did you
buttons
not
big enough for the hooves.
Mr. Ed could do it.
Well, he was a very smart horse.
I know. I'm just saying I'm a pretty dumb horse.
I mean, a horse is a horse, of course.
You know what? The thing is I opened that door, and then I'm like, why did you come through this door? Why would you follow me through this door, sir?
Because I didn't bring a map, and you're a leader. So it is Captain Flem with the star and a track cut. So an opportunity here for
All
Lodge.
right. I assume the lead is still open after that. Then it's such a tightly called. There we go. Lodge has lead the second time. Lead has been acquired by Vancouver in the game so far. Of course, we're only 12 jams in, so it's not too much, but
Absolutely, and Lodge back in the pack. That is the 2 in a row.
yes,
Maybe
also that.
Yeah, maybe they can. Let's see how many points they can get here.
Zimmer, who's been a really effective blocker this weekend, finding himself maybe a little less effective against these much larger blockers.
Yeah, and they're so fast too.
Yeah, there's a lot that Toulouse has going for them.
They do.
It's going to take some fast adaptation. I feel like second half is going to be even more brilliant to watch than this. In the meantime, Zimmer up front trying to control this 3-wall with Scott Slamilton and Bennett stand aside, off to the side, pressing through is Captain Flem, redonning the star. So he is out. That was his initial. We're going to go ahead and call it. Lodge was in control. That was an 8-point jam for Vancouver Murder, bringing them up to 24. Toulouse still at 116.
Yeah, that's 2 jams in a row. Toulouse has been held scoreless. Vancouver now starting to charge back. Let's see if they can ride this momentum and make it a little bit closer. Anything is possible when it comes to the MRDA playoffs. And we've seen that this weekend. They were, what, back-to-back-to-back upsets yesterday.
It was up Saturday.
Up Saturday. Thank you, Bobby Narco, for coining that term.
Yeah, it was like, I held on to it yesterday because I was like, I don't know. That is a pretty dadding dad joke, but it is really good.
Favorite
anyway,
Friday and upset Saturday.
That's what it was. I couldn't think of Friday. Anyways, another favorite, Moshpit Najutsu, is through with lead, and Mr. Testosterone is through after a huge amount of
ouch.
Many actions.
Yes.
That looked painful.
Many reasons why I don't play roller derby on display right there. And one reason I like to have a microphone.
Yeah.
It's safe. 4 points, though, breaks that scoreless streak of Toulouse. So now 120-24, 11 minutes remaining in the first half of our third place game, our bronze medal game. Don't worry. We've looked over the medals. We've all tested wearing them. They all are fit to be worn. It's what announcers are here for. We test wear the medals.
66 medals at once, and what I can report back is
your neck hurts.
66 medals, it gets hot.
I'm imagining heavy, too.
It really wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. It was mostly just kind of warm.
I want to test the material.
All 66 medals?
Yes. Of all 60.
I'm not saying it was
Does anybody have a kit?
Yeah, it wasn't like, oh, I'm going to go like run a mile with all 66 medals, but...
No, that's challenge not accepted.
We got a Stark dance line. Tank, not having it. Tank, not interested.
Tank is here for business.
Yeah.
You know how many flights he had to take
Tank's
to get here? No, he's kind. You can't see his face. He is kind of enjoying Stark, but he's just not joining in.
It's true. I thought I saw a little wiggle, but I think he was just shifting on his skates. Maybe he really was born to dance and wants to dance, but is just shy.
It's for the after party.
Yeah. But Stark's out there in like his wonderful cat pants. Shout out to Chad Higgins, Dante Head, Go Vancouver. If you want to hit us up, looking at hashtag MRDA Champs 2018.
Jinx, stop texting me. We are in a timeout. I'm not even going to read it. Apex Wellness Center is one of our sponsors. Jump over to Apex Wellness Center, offering chiropractic, massage, and acupuncture to help you get back on the track. And back to the track we go with Thortank at the front. He's got a 2-wall in front of him. One blocker in the Rydell penalty box for Vancouver. And big hit there to the outside.
Stand aside, and Morrison doing some excellent strategy, trying to break up Toulouse's defenses is just so hard to do. Trying to get Stark through. Stark almost through, gets knocked into the inside in the meantime. Thortank has picked up lead and is coming through on his first scoring pass, just as Big Sexy returns to his teammates to try to help out with this getting Stark through initiative.
5 points on the board. Thortank reapproaching the pack, looking for room, moving to the outside. Looked for a second like he was about to call it off, but decided not to.
Right. Multiplayer block called on 1789 Braveheart from Toulouse.
So 4-3 pack advantage at the moment in favor of Vancouver. Thortank having some problems there on turn 2. Vancouver with some effective defense. Big Sexy at the front of the pack anchoring it, and anchor it he does. You're not moving that. At the front, we see the pivot. Angry Bear loses his helmet.
Oh, no.
But gets it back on.
Good deal.
That was an accident.
Yeah, like, It's not the kind of plot twist you expect or want.
No, no, no. That was an accidental helmet fall off. So 1 point sneaks in, or excuse me, it will be 8-5 on that jam in favor of Toulouse. Now 128-29, about 9 minutes remaining. So, remember, coming up after this, we do have the MRDA Championship. St. Louis Gatekeepers, Bridgetown Menace.
Dun, dun, dun.
Who will win? You can make your own predictions. We all have ours.
My bracket busted out a while ago.
Yeah, my bracket was done after the first game. So, Fluster Cluck.
Whoa, almost.
Almost.
Almost?
Oh, he does! Almost does.
And the crowd literally goes wild.
That's roller derby, folks. So some defensive jamming there by Mr. Furio as Fluster Cluck came back into the pack. Now going to have to recycle on his scoring pass. Bonjour Jean was the first blocker, so he would literally be bonjour, saying hello.
Yeah, he's just saying bonjour.
And now it's au revoir with 1 point for Vancouver.
I'm constantly impressed by Toulouse's ability to just hold anybody back. They're just, it's just a constant moving. It's a unit, but it also is constantly moving around the track.
Absolutely, and one thing I just thought of is, you know, the quad guards have possibly an advantage against maybe every other team here in the fact that they speak French. They speak a different language. Vancouver is Canadian. In Canada, they also speak French.
Yeah,
I'm going to assume that several of these players, I don't know, but I'm going to assume that several of them also speak French, even though they're from the other side of Canada.
No, they do have at the very least the dual language signs.
Exactly.
Vancouver, yeah.
So they don't have. They might still have that advantage as a first language,
sure,
but they don't necessarily have the whole advantage that they would have over the other teams participating here. I'm sure people on other teams maybe took it in high school or college or whatever.
We didn't do a survey.
No. Do you speak French? Hashtag, do you speak French? So it is a team timeout taken by Toulouse, who are ahead by 98 points.
Darlene Stevens shouting out on Twitter as well. If you'd like to engage us, hashtag MRDA Champs 2018. Seeing a lot of Vancouver. Oh, it's super late in France because I was like, I'm seeing like a lot of Vancouver fans, but it is.
They're in the same time zone as us right now.
True. Yeah, I'm with that. Let's see. It's 1:30 in the morning in England, so it's 2:30 in the morning in France. I got you.
So we'd really like to thank you for staying up to watch this. It's Mr. Furio and Mr. Testosterone, and class is in session because Mr. Testosterone picks up lead jammer for Vancouver, and there goes Mr. Furio on the initial pass.
Beautifully executed right there by Mr. T. That is the full 4 available points. Mr. Furio just now coming in on his first scoring pass. I feel like Vancouver has kind of felt out the team and maybe they're picking up now. Mr. Furio trying to take a hop over the apex, not having it as Scott Slamilton meets up with him and he engages Mr. T as he comes into the pack. Mr. T blasting on, almost blasting through the front wall of Toulouse blockers. He's going to be recycled back behind, I believe that's Gonto.
Yeah, and it was because gravity did kick in. He just could not stay up after taking those hits. Mr. Testosterone looking for room to the outside.
Ooh. A little slick spot on the floor
there. 4 points on the board for Mr. Fury, the first 4 of the jam. And Mr. Testosterone's going to call it off after picking up another 5.
A 14-point jam. Certainly the highest scoring jam of the half for Vancouver.
Yeah, and they've had some of these higher scoring jams, these double-digit jams, and that's how we see them starting to come back here.
This is actually their second double-digit jam.
Second double-digit jam, exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, there was a little bit of
few I meant 2.
Nickel and diamond, little throwing some pennies out, and we need to clearly it's always advisable to get more points.
Yes, you want as many points as you can. Usually the team with the most wins.
That's what I've heard.
Yes. And yeah, speaking of Yas Lemonas is the jammer for Toulouse going up against Zimmer.
It has been a star pass
to Zimmer.
So
Zimmer was not the original jammer. He is now the jammer, but it's over anyway. So another 4 points for the quad guards now. 136-44 Toulouse on top. So with 5:30 remaining, you know, it just seems every time Vancouver starts gaining a little ground, Toulouse just gains a little more. Makes it that much tougher. It's going to be number 12, Mosh Pit No Jitsu going up against Stark. And both jammers inside the pack past that Vault 31 pivot line.
Both of these jammers have so much power. It's just a matter of finding the space to get through. Stark nearly had it, got knocked into the inside, recycled back, and is now going to have to play a little bit of human Tetris to get back up front. All 4 Toulouse blockers on him. He is joined by Big Sexy, who will hopefully Big Sexy these people away. But it's going to be the lead going to Mosh Pit No Jitsu.
Was about 30 seconds off the clock to get that, so Vancouver's defense was able to slow him down. Now Mosh Pit No Jitsu basically right up the middle. 5 points for Toulouse, striking first on the jam.
Juice up front. Wow.
As yes, Stark gets pushed through, but that's the initial pass.
That was
Now Stark back on a scoring pass, trying to get up the middle. Mosh Pit No Jitsu pushed to the outside by Stand Aside. So he clearly loves the sides. I mean, some players live up to their name.
I was just like, what are like mashed potatoes?
Fall down to side.
A little bit of corn. Oh, those. Oh, different sides. Okay.
Would you like fries with that? No, I'd like 5 points with that.
He is really good at getting people out of his way.
Now an even 100-point differential, 148-48. 3.5 remaining, and a timeout taken by, I believe that's the officials. Yes. So don't forget, if you are in the area, the Southside Speakeasy, that is where we are having the after party tonight. Everybody in the area is welcome to come. Or if you can get here in a few hours. I mean, I don't know where you are. I mean, if you're in like Boston and you can get here in a few hours, hey, why not? Come on over to the
Hop on your private jet.
Hop on your private jet, because you know we all make that much money doing this. And Flustercluck is the lead jammer for Vancouver. Captain Flem donning the star for Toulouse.
This is the 5th time Vancouver has gotten lead. He's being overtaken by Captain Flem. It's going to go ahead and force that call off a 0-0 jam there. 148-48. We're 100 points separating these teams, and 3:10 left in the half.
Yeah, and you know, one of the things about these Toulouse jammers is really, besides Thortank, they're all very similar. They're very similar build, height, speed, you know, and they play so similar. They're all like these missiles that just fly into the pack and hope to break everything apart and are very effective at doing it. Thortank is more of a has a little more power to him, a little more strength, but still very fast and very effective.
Ooh, word.
And just like that, he fell in a little too quickly.
Yeah, Scott Slamilton was involved in that, I'm afraid. Hit into the inside. Mr. T popping to the inside as well. He's going to have to recycle back. In the meantime, Thortank has taken lead. Is going to be coming into scoring position in just a few seconds. Slamilton is in the back once again, takes him out. And Mr. T is thrown his initial, and now that's going to force that call off. Another 0-0 jam, the second 0-0 jam in a row.
So we've had 2 scoreless jams, that would mean. For those of you who need words to put back together.
Double goose eggs.
Double goose eggs.
Fun to say.
Isn't that a bad part of Willy Wonka or something?
Probably. Don't read the book, it's a bit dark.
Yeah, it is. I did.
I did too.
I read the sequels
too. The minute
too.
somebody was like, it's a bit dark, I was like, I bought 3 copies.
For some people are like, wait, Willy Wonka's a book? Yes. And then the other people are like, wait, there's a sequel?
It's
yes.
Charlie
Great Glass Elevator.
No, the original one is Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Well, yeah, but the sequel,
no, I'm just saying.
Yes.
You said it was called Willy Wonka, and I'm here to say, well, actually.
Well, actually, you are right.
Yes, Lemoness out there for Toulouse does have lead. He's recycling back behind a Mrs. Testosterone-led 3 brace, now broken up. Harassing forward, last trying to get at him as he comes through the pack. Oh, sorry, now he ain't. Wait.
What?
No, I'm not going to confuse myself right now.
Yes, Lemonos, 5 points on the board. That's not, that part's not confusing. That's
Nailed
10 so far on the jam.
There has been a star pass to Zimmer, and he is possibly going to get to the back of the pack.
Let's see what Yas Lemonos decides to do. Yeah, he does. So he looks like he will get some points there. But Yas Lemonos with 14 of his own already now to the inside, moving through, and there's another 5 on the board. Let's bring it up to 19 and call it off.
167 to 51, 3 points picked up by Vancouver in that jam. Enough time for one more jam in this half. This game is just blasted right by. Yeah, it's just
very smooth running, smoothly officiated. Not a lot of timeouts taken by either team or the officials. You know, Vancouver, I can't speak for them, but if I was them, I'd be happy to be in this position. You know, you already won a huge game. This shows your improvement of your team. Now you're playing for a 3rd, 4th place game. Either way, you're moving up.
Yeah,
you know,
definitely.
And especially if you can keep the score close. I mean, you are setting yourself up in very good position for 2019.
An official review, it looks, to be taken by Toulouse.
And we'd like to tell you about Vault 31. It's a bar opening up in Vancouver, Washington in early 2019. Let Vault 31 be your destination for roller derby watch parties, esports, music, and more. Visit vault31bar.com for more information or find Vault 31 on Facebook and give the page a like to be updated on the events. We'd like to thank, of course, all of our tournament heads, including tournament head announcer Julia Sleazer, who's somewhere around here.
Who dat?
I don't know. I heard she says things into microphones and moved across the pond.
Sometimes she shouts at birds.
Sometimes she posts pictures of cats.
A complex character.
She's most notably known for things with cats. What things with cats? Everything with cats. She judges people simply based on their cats. Like that's.
The judgment is if you have a cat, you're an okay person.
So I'm okay. All right.
Yeah, you're right.
All right.
Yeah. Speaking of cats, cat pants. Stark out there, Mr. Furio. Not sure his opinion on cats. I hope for the best though.
Well, based on the way he's moving, he's scratching and clawing inside the pack. He might be a fan at the front of the pack. Stark looking for room, but not finding it, getting pushed to the outside by by the Toulouse defense guarding the quad.
Yeah, the quad guards again. You just can't express how impressed I am by their defensive tactics.
Bennett going to go to the penalty box?
Headed there now. Stark, oh my gosh. Running backwards, finally through having completed his initial.
But Mr. Furio is in lead, and he is now back in the pack looking for room. 1 to beat. Let's see if he turns around and calls it off. He's letting his pack speed up, takes a little bit of time off, but the clock, the period clock had already expired, so at that point, just call it off.
Definitely. Well, that is going to take us into halftime. Well, 171 for Toulouse quad guards, Vancouver Murder at 51.
We'll be back, tell you about the penalties and other fun things in just a few moments. But you go ahead, grab your popcorn, grab a drink, go to the bathroom, do what you got to do, and join us back here in about 11 and a half minutes. I'm Champ Unkind.
I'm Julia Sleazer.
We'll be back.
Welcome back to this second half of Toulouse taking on Vancouver. Went into this half 171 to 51 in favor of Toulouse quad guards. So Toulouse scores in the double digits half of the time that they score. So that's, pretty interesting. Clearly, they've had the higher scoring jams.
That's usually why the score ends up the way that it is.
Fact.
And we're going to take a look at the penalties really quick right here for Toulouse. You see only one skater with 4 penalties. That is Braveheart. Everybody else at 3 or less. So nobody really in that severe of penalty trouble except for Braveheart, who's a little bit over the halfway mark, but not that far over, not really in danger yet. Then looking on the Vancouver side, also only one skater with 4, that would be Bennett, but they do have 3 skaters with 3, Big Sexy, Scott Slamilton, and Zimmer, a few with 2, a few with 1, the rest with none. Want to take a look at the points per jam here. Once again, like you were saying, that is a blank thing, so we're not going to use that graphic.
Oops.
Oops, I just thought it was really cool that we had it, and
Oh, no.
Biggie used it at one point. And
did it work?
It worked,
Okay.
and it was beautiful.
I get so nervous with them because, like, once one of them doesn't work, I'm like, I broke it. Bye.
It was the most advanced roller derby graphic I have ever seen in 8 years.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I mean, listen, that not only are the skills of the players advancing, the graphics and quality are advancing. As you see, I mean, look at this beautiful picture. I don't think I've ever seen a roller derby stream with this beautiful and clear of a picture.
I like the compact scoreboard.
I agree. It makes it so easy
Or a score
to
overlay,
see.
however you want to call that. And then like a tiny clock and everything's... Nothing's at their feet. I'm just enjoying it. So,
Exactly. We can see the whole screen, and so can you at home.
hooray! Mr. Furio facing off against Mr. Testosterone in the battle of the Misters.
Class is in session. And it is Mr. Testosterone through the pack. First lead jammer going to Vancouver, starting the second half off a little differently than the first, but Mr. Furio also through the pack. Both jammers approaching the pack. Mr. Testosterone inside first, gets pushed to the outside by Toulouse. Picks up 1 point to start it off. I don't think Toulouse got any. No,
it's
they
gonna be-
do.
It actually, it's going to be a 2-2.
2-2. 2-2, and stopped by Toulouse.
There we go.
Sometimes things just work out that way.
173 to 53, 120-point game, and it seems pretty solidly that there's been a 100-point lead for a while.
For a little while. But, of course, in roller derby, 100 points, it
Yeah,
can
I
be
mean-
evaporated.
Sure.
So it's going to be Yas Leminos and Fluster Cluck.
So far, Flustercluck is the only jammer from Vancouver to be out and get lead 100% of the time, and not going to change that now.
He's not flustered at all.
Nope.
Maybe clucking, but not flustered. Back into the pack, looking for
what?
points.
What? Oh,
Oh!
my bad. I was like, he had a really easy time on the outside. He
Well-
got a track cut.
Yeah, he was looking for the points, but found a track cut instead. As Yas Leminos through the pack, 5 points. The first 5, I'm sorry, not the first 5, but 5 points on the board. The first 5-point pass of the second half. Yas Leminos back in the pack, and looks like he's going to, yes, will do the same thing again. Another 5 on the board, and another double-digit jam for Toulouse. Yas Leminos to the outside. Good block there by number 31, Bruceberry Pie.
Deep Turtle trying to make way for Yas Leminos to come through. A little bit of help there, and it is 5 more points right now. A 15-point jam for the quad guards.
Fluster Cluck out of the Rydell penalty box. We're going to have both jammers eligible to pick points, and it will go the full 2 minutes. 4 points for both jammers on that pass. Yas Leminos will be the first to re-engage. Not far behind, Fluster Cluck back in the pack, but Yas Leminos once again through first, and another 4 points on the board, bringing up to 23 so far. And it's going to be another power jam with Fluster Cluck now probably flustered in the box for the second time.
Just a bit, yeah.
Bruceberry Pie and Bruceberry Pie anchoring the front of that pack. Big Sexy now at the front.
There we go.
There we go. Sorry, names are hard.
Oh no, they reformed. I was there
They
going
did.
at their reformation of that 3 brace up front held by Bruceberry.
Yeah, that was Zimmer and Harrison Ford finishing out that Vancouver pack. 28 points on the jam, 28-6 total. Toulouse over Vancouver. Now Toulouse crossing the double century mark, 201 to 59, as we're approaching 26 and a half remaining. So it's going to be Thor Tank putting on the star. Is going to be a power start with Fluster Cluck still in the Rydell penalty box. 1 Toulouse blocker in the box, and lead jammer goes to Thor Tank pretty quickly. Fluster Cluck out of the box.
So I guess this does break his 100% streak because he can't possibly get lead. Flustercluck knocked into the inside, recycled back. In the meantime, Thor Tank is up front, mowing through and just picking up points. 4 more just there. Flustercluck headed back to the box.
That's 3 in 2 jams. That's not going to help. but it will help Toulouse,
Sure.
especially with Thortank back in the pack, picking up 5 points.
It looks like Fleshlick only has 4 penalties, and I think 3 of them have been picked up in the last couple of jams.
I want to see Thortank jam against Stark, so that Cap could come in there with a shield and break it up.
Oh my gosh.
And then Captain Flem could do that.
There's a lot.
And then Hulk from St. Louis could probably show up, and hey, we could have ourselves a little movie here. A little bit of fun.
I feel like you.
I just go off on these tangents.
No, I'm like, I don't feel like that was a spur of the moment thing. I feel like you've been thinking about this for a while.
I actually have not.
Bah.
That was all.
Nope.
That's the inside of Champ's brain.
Witness the genius.
Some people say that. My mother, on the other hand,
Aw.
thinks it's something else. But let's get back to the track. It is Captain Flem. Speaking of Avengers, it is Captain Flem with the star on his helmet instead of a shield, and he will be lead jammer for Toulouse. Flustercluck is out of the box, is into the pack, and does escape cleanly, as Flustercluck will pick up 4 points for Toulouse.
Captain Flynn going to call it off before Fluster can get to the back of the pack. 4 more points picked up by Toulouse. 2:19 to 59. 24.5 minutes left in the game.
Yeah, Toulouse looking pretty solidly in control here, but of course, you know, anything is possible. For all we know, a meteor could strike one of their benches, and all of a sudden the score changes.
I don't see how that would change the score.
I mean, I don't know.
I
really don't know where I was going with that. So let's get back to the track. Luckily, a whistle just blew, and it is Mr. Furio versus Stark. Saved by the whistle.
Yeah.
Stark going to the back of the pack, recycles, falls down. Furio also looking for room. They're still on that 5-stride jam line. Not much movement through the pack, and it will be Stark with lead jammer.
Stark coming in. Ooh, wow. Very cleanly through the pack after watching him bust up so many times. That was a nicely executed way through. Let's see if we can get a repeat of that.
And now with both jammers, a little bit of luck going on the side of Stark and Vancouver as Furio loses his footing. It's going to give Stark an opportunity, but the solid Toulouse defense doing what it's done all game, slowing him down.
Just a bit, though, and as Mr. Furio is through behind him, 4 points to Stark's 9 right now.
Furio inside the pack. Stark also inside the pack. Both looking for more points. Stark with that 9-4 advantage. Stark to the outside on the line. And no pass, no penalty, but he will get 3 points. So double-digit jam now for Vancouver.
Stark coming in once again. A
Whoa.
low block called on Stark. He's going to have a seat in the Rydell skate penalty box. Up until that point, he was doing having a pretty good run points-wise.
And
this is going to go the full 2 minutes. We've only got about 10 seconds left of it, though.
Mr. Furio just demonstrating what it's like to roller skate on a cruise ship, but he does go to back around and into the pack. And it's going to come to a close. Let's see how many. He does get 3 more. And another 1 retro active point before going to the box. So 231 to 72. Yes, as you can see, Furio taking a well-deserved breath.
Yeah.
And seat on the bench to chill out for a moment. I'm sure he'll be back soon.
Sure.
So it is going to be a power start once again with Stark in the Rydell penalty box. 1 blocker in the box for Toulouse, and Yas Lemonas donning the star over the pack, over the inside, and lead jammer. Now approaching the pack again, looking for some room, and spinning around instead. Hey, why not? If you can do it, why not show off that kind of move? Okay, now it just looks like he's having an open skate.
Huh.
And I don't know what he's dancing.
No.
What music
mean,
he's dancing
It's interesting.
Yeah, it's like he's being blocked by a ghost.
Maybe he's being blocked by a ghost.
Maybe this place is haunted.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
Dowdy McDowderson.
MRDA Championships and Ghost Hunt 2018.
Man, I would be so into that.
Brought to you by Left Turn.
Just think.
Maybe not the Ghost Hunt part.
Do you remember Ghost Points? Well, no.
I do when I played baseball with like 3 people in elementary school, so yes.
Oh, you used to have to record the people in the box as ghost points on the score tracking paperwork, except nobody ever did. Like, what's this tiny box about?
And that's why it's a used to.
Yeah, it's true. It really is. So it's out. Both jammers out. Neither get lead. Actually, Mr. T is headed off to the box. Looks like he's potentially going to have 2.
Well, Thortank had the no pass, no penalty, so
Right.
he is not lead, and it will go the full 2 minutes. As the pack is going very, very fast. Big Sexy playing the role of wall in the way. Getting some help there from number 110, from Scott Slamilton, that's 100. And now Scott Slamilton will go to the penalty box. And another 5 points on the board for Toulouse. 239 to 72. On another scoring pass, here comes Thortank to the outside, untouched for another 5 points on the board and another double-digit jam. Once again, this is going to be, either way, this is going to be the first time in MRDA history that a non-United States team is going to finish with a medal.
It's true.
Thortank already 15 points on the board, now back in the pack, looking for some room, past the 5-stride jam line, and another 5 to the sky. Mr. Testosterone over the apex, but it's a penalty. He's going back to the Rydell penalty box, and another power jam in favor of Toulouse. Already with 20 on the jam, under 19 minutes remaining. Thortank in the back. 10 seconds left on the jam clock. Thortank moving around, trying to get past that last blocker. Number 7, T. Groves. And
didn't put up much of a fight there. So
he did not.
Everything just like the end of this jam was like so relaxed on both sides. They were like, I know that what will happen here is a 25-point jam for Toulouse, 259. Vancouver not picking up anything there, but penalties, 72.
Yeah, 25 points. An impressive jam.
No, it's
but
absolutely amazing.
But it is a little easier when your opposing jammer goes to the box twice.
Right, that's
still
what
not,
I'm saying.
Still not the easiest thing at this level, but
that also puts Mr. T in a little bit of penalty trouble-ish. He's got the 5.
Yeah, there's 3 Vancouver skaters currently at 5. Big Sexy, Scott Slamilton, and Mr. Testosterone. And it is Captain Flem, your lead jammer, Mr. Testosterone, out of the box and out of the pack, but it's going to be called off. No points for Vancouver, 4 for Toulouse. Yeah, once again, neither one of these teams really came into the second half with anybody in that bad of penalty trouble, but
no, it was just this couple of penalties that Mr. Testosterone picked up, unfortunately, so close together. And also, since, you know, all 3 of the skaters that are in penalty trouble for Vancouver are really key to their lineup. So
yeah.
hopefully keep it together. Bennett drilling the hole early for the jammer to come through.
That jammer for Vancouver is Lodge. For Toulouse, Mr. Furio. Both jammers still looking for room. Nothing opening up just yet. Just one quad guard in the Rydell penalty box.
Well, Lodge finding a way through on the inside is declared a lead for the Vancouver Murder.
So opportunity here for Vancouver to close the gap a little bit as we're about to hit the 16.5-minute mark. And Lodge on his toe stops and does get 5 points.
Yeah.
I forgot what part of the skate that was. That's, you know, that forward part that you go on.
Lodge seeming to favor coming in on that inside line.
Wait a minute. There's a penalty on Lodge.
Wow, and Scott Slamilton does a huge hit on Mr. Furio just as Lodge is leaving the track. Furio just now is through, having completed his initial minute 10 into the jam.
Yeah, so effective defense here by Vancouver.
Absolutely.
Furio into the pack, moving, trying to get through past the last. Yes, past the last blocker. There was a no pass, no penalty. It was Scott Slamilton. 4 points picked up by Toulouse. That's the first 4 of the jam. Thanks to some effective Vancouver defense, it is going to go the full 2 minutes because it is a power jam, and some fancy footwork, staying in bounds and picking up 5 points for Toulouse. Lodge has been released from the box. Lodge into the pack. Passing some of those Toulouse blockers, passing all the Toulouse blockers, and picking up another 4 for Vancouver. Mr. Furio has to recycle, going to do some defensive jamming there just as the jam is called. And wait a minute, looks like there's going to be a track cut on Furio, and it looks like it's going to be a power start for Vancouver.
I saw someone signal, it's a track cut. So we will be fielding Stark for this power start. As I've mentioned before, Stark, an amazingly effective jammer.
The king of the north.
Hero Stark is what I used to call him.
I wonder if he has warg abilities.
I could still call him Hero Stark. It's all good. I mean, I don't know if he has ward abilities.
But he does have a track cut.
He does have a track cut.
That he does.
Yeah.
So with Mr. Furio still sitting in the box, it will be a 20-second or less power jam for Mr. Furio. Now into the pack, looking for room. Going up one-on-one against Big Sexy, getting some help from his blockers.
Yeah, like his agility and the help his friends or his teammates can provide him is really what helps him be so effective as a jammer. Clearly, headed back to the box is Mr. Furio.
That was for a forearm.
It was.
And it was just as Stark was released from the box, so it will be a full 30 seconds, and it's going to go the full 2 minutes on the jam.
Well, Stark was in for the partial, so it was Furio was in, Stark was in, so even if Furio would have come back when Stark was there, you can't have an infinite regress, essentially.
Correct.
Yeah.
I was wrong.
You weren't wrong.
But I wasn't right.
In a different scenario. There is a plane of existence in which you are correct, just not this one.
Schrodinger's penalty box.
Schrodinger's announcer.
Schrodinger's announcer.
There we go.
Right and wrong all at the same time. All right. It is Stark at the front. One Toulouse blocker. That is number 1789. Like, oh, it's me, Braveheart.
Yeah, I was a little bit confused as to what was going on just there.
Well, that quad guard penalty box is full. So Stark taking advantage of it with one blocker to beat, and he's through. There's going to be 4 points for Vancouver. That's actually the first 4 of the jam for Vancouver.
Yes.
A minute 50 into it.
Yeah. Stark popping into the inside. Looking a little bit winded as he comes back around. He's going to take it slow.
That's some good camaraderie there, the jammers giving each other a high five and a handshake.
An absolutely furious jam like that.
Hard fought.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That is an understatement.
That was a tough jam. 5 points in the 2 minutes on the jam going in favor of Vancouver. Now 276-87, under 12 and a half remaining. So that would also mean now that Braveheart is at 5 penalties. Still 3 Vancouver skaters at 5 penalties. That has not changed in the last few jams. Big Sexy, Scott Slamilton, and Mr. Testosterone. A few more now at 4 penalties. We do have a team timeout taken by Toulouse.
Overall, I thought this was like a really clean game. It seems like when there's you get 1 penalty, and there's just like 3 more waiting for you.
It's like cockroaches.
Yeah, pretty much.
You find one, you know there's going to be more.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you can't call anyone about that. There's no like exterminator.
Well,
Excuse me, can you get rid of our penalties?
But
you get 1 per game, and it's called an official review.
Right. There's only so much can be done there.
Exactly. Sometimes you just use it as a timeout.
Right.
Basically, like a roach, I'll use it as a doorstop or something.
Sounds like the grossest doorstop.
I don't know why we're talking about this.
Yeah, I don't know why a lot of things, champ.
Neither do I, Sleazer. Things just happen.
I do know we're about to get this game back underway. The referees going back to their positions. The skaters are already on the track. There is one blocker from each team in the box, so 3-on-3.
And one thing I'm loving about seeing here is just the great camaraderie between these two teams. You see Vancouver, even though they're down there, all smiles. This is a team that in the offseason, they're going to go back, look at all this footage, look at how they beat Southern Discomfort, and then how they played the next two teams, and learn something from it. And I've been saying this all weekend with the rise of these European teams, the rise of these UK teams, and Toulouse. You're going to see a huge shift in the strategy of the American teams coming up.
It's going to have to be.
I think we're, instead of the Europeans adjusting to the Americans, I think 2019 is going to be the opposite.
I have always said that. I remember several years ago being at tournaments in Europe and being like, watch these streams. And then when a European team would actually come to the USA, they'd be like, whoa, where did this come from? I'm like, did you not watch the streams? Okay. So, yeah, there's...
But the level of gameplay has now stepped up to the point where even though they were playing a different tactic that was effective, they are now able to win these games. Not just surprise them with what they can do, but finish the games.
This is, I mean, I feel like this is been the goal of the community, is to get to where we can see ourselves going right now. And it's this big, large-scale international tournaments. And especially with the advent of the qualifiers last year, I think it's afforded opportunities for teams that they might not have had otherwise. But of course, international travel can be costly and things like that, and that has actually prevented in the past some of the European teams coming to MRDA Champs. So
unfortunately, money is not always fun.
I know,
unless you're getting it.
It's the big bummer of things, but there has been a lot of cheaper flight companies coming out and stuff like that. But I mean,
thanks,
like,
Wow Air.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I'm like, check out Norwegian Air. Am I right? I flew over on Delta for quite cheap.
I mean, Lufthansa's pretty nice, but it's a little pricey.
But honestly, I know that there was European teams in the past that have had to decline their spot at this very tournament, and so I am so happy that all 4 teams were able to make it this weekend. The 3 from the UK. Oh, sorry, well, Canada, they just drove down.
Well, there's 4 from the UK, I believe.
There's 3 from the UK and 1 from Toulouse.
Lincolnshire, Tyne and Fear, Manchester, and Southern Discomfort.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, so 4.
Yeah.
But to go on what you're saying, it really is now a global sport.
I was just thinking about.
We're not forgetting about you guys. Don't worry.
No,
We're not forgetting about anybody.
It's not forgetting. I hadn't. Yeah. Sorry.
You were thinking the 4 from the UK and the 1 from France. I see where you're going with it. So, back to the track. It is Jas Lemonas with 15 points on the jam. Now breaking a 200-point barrier between the two scores. As Jas Lemonas now up to 20 points, doing some defensive jamming there against Flustercluck. Flustercluck completing the initial pass, and Jas Lemonas just going to call it off, shake his hand, say, well, job well done, sir. Well, job done, sir, or job well done. Is that how they say it in French? I don't know. I know the semantics are different.
You just said English in a different order, and I'm pretty sure that's not French.
Just say oui, and we'll move on.
Oui. 300 points for Toulouse. At Vancouver at 95. Under 9 minutes, I should say. Now, left in this game, absolutely blown by, but it has been brilliant to watch. Both teams are really showing what they have brought to the table this weekend. Thor Tank taking lead jammer status just now. Stark out there. The inside looked open, not quite the case, as the Toulouse blockers shut the door up front. In the meantime, Morrison and Vincent and Standaside are doing a great job of keeping Thor Tank back.
Yeah, just trying to find room, but blocking Thor Tank, it is going to be Stark out of the pack. As Avengers Civil War continues, 4 points picked up by Thor Tank before calling it off. So 4-0 on the jam, 3:04.95, 8 minutes remaining in the game. And like you said, it has been going by very fast. Only 2 timeouts taken by Toulouse, 1 by Vancouver. Both still have their official review. I'd expect one of them to use it at some point, because why not? You have it.
Right, yeah, sure.
And this is roller derby. Have people ever not called timeouts when the score is this different? No.
Well, it just depends on how they're feeling. I mean,
Some people want to go to the after party. Some people want to play with the score a little more.
Sure.
Mosh Pit No Jutsu and Lodge are the jams. And when you're in playoffs, why not?
We're champs, sir.
Yeah, exactly. The most playoffy of playoffs.
We are the champsingest of champs, champ.
Exactly. Thanks, Sleazer. It's Mosh Pit No Jutsu.
I can words too.
Good. That's why we have microphones. For now. 5 points for Mosh Pit No Jutsu. Lodge is the other jammer. He passed the star to Zimmer, who completes the initial pass. And Mosh Pit No Jutsu with another 4 on the board.
A track cut being assessed to Mosh Pit No Jutsu means that he's going to have a seat in the Rydell Skates penalty box. Having already picked up 9 points, perhaps this will give Zimmer the advantage he needs right now. It is currently 5 points to Zimmer right now, bringing them to the 100-point line.
Zimmer to the outside, now on the inside, getting past one blocker, reforms in front of him. That's Bonjour Jean at the front. With some help from Braveheart and Slash Gordon. Zimmer still looking for room. It is going to go the full 2 minutes. Toulouse's jammer does lose lead. And everybody's now going backwards. With time winding down in the jam. Ouch.
Bruceberry Pie trying to help keep Mosh Pit No Jutsu.
Yeah, the bakery is
back.
closed.
Yeah. Whew. Huge hits for everybody.
No pass, no penalty for Mosh Pit No Jutsu on the inbound and over the apex, but into Bruceberry Pie.
All right, so that was nothing picked up on that pass for Vancouver. 5 more for oh, wait, did I get the? Yeah, I got the red and the black.
It is
jam
confusing.
refs. Yeah, I'm like, well,
it could be
both
either.
got red. The redder team is Vancouver, however. So 105 for Vancouver, Toulouse at 3:13. So a timeout has been called by the officials. We would like to thank our production crew and our hosts once again, Lane County Concussion and Portland Bridgetown Menace. Our production crew is Grimes, Louie, Mega Pickle, Craftbeard, Packet Racer, Dropkick Daisy, Photobomb, Dr. Multiclass PhD, and Goldie. They've all been amazing this weekend.
Of course, we'd love to thank our officials and referees. Referees on the track right now: Bambulance, Umpire Strikes Back, Curse So Good, Rockstar, Ria Culpa, Il Presidente, Shorty, and Lobocop.
We would also like to thank our non-skating officials, who I will take care of, is Tenacious D Cup, Tumultina, 9 Inch Wheels, India Pale Owl, D Baggins, Read the Rules, Justice Deliverer, Push Up Zebra, Bola Constrictor, and Amy Farrell Fowler. There's some really, like, seriously rock star officials here this weekend.
Absolutely. It's going to be a power start with Zimmer in the box. Mr. Furio with the star for Toulouse, and over the apex and over the blockers. Mr. Furio picking up lead jammer for Toulouse. Wow.
Furio swooping down on the outside. No one can touch this man.
Seriously, wow. I mean, how do you block that?
Stand aside, trying to get level in the back. It's not going to work out. Another 5 points picked up by Furio. Or sorry. No, it's fine.
I think it's called Rolamiting 101. Furio back in the pack on another scoring pass. Zimmer out of the box, start in hand, but not confusing or tricking any of those Toulouse blockers. They knew exactly who he was. It's like when you wear one of those glasses with the nose and the mustache. Just like, you're really not fooling anyone. Like Clark Kent taking off his glasses. Oh my God, I didn't know it was you. Furio back in the pack looking for room. He is in command. Zimmer completes the initial pass. 4 more points for Furio as we're about to hit the 4-minute mark, and a big hit by Zimmer. It's going to send him to the penalty box for a back block. Good dodging move there by Furio. Dodge, dip, nope, never mind. We'll try that again. Dodge, dip, and recycle.
Whoa. Bennett is one to contend with. Finally, with that out-of-play warning, he's going to have to release Mr. Furio.
Mr. Furio back in the pack.
Murder of Murders in the back, ready for Furio to re-enter. It's going to be Toulouse coming in. Didn't have to break up the defenses. They kind of just went away on their own. It is another 5 points for Mr. Furio. Right now, a 29-point jam. It's like 2 murder skaters standing to the side of the box. So it's going to be Mr. T and Zimmer fouling out. So
Together.
yeah.
At least they get to leave the track with a friend.
No, they, you know, you don't want to leave by yourself.
No, it's always fun to have a friend.
Sure.
And we're all friends here in the Men's Roller Derby. Or most of us are friends here in the Men's Roller Derby Association. At least after the games. You've got a friend in someone.
Yeah, I got a couple.
So we are going to have a timeout here, taken by the officials, with 3:11 remaining and 3:42 to 106 the score.
Would like to thank our sponsors this weekend: Five Stride, Rydell, Apex Wellness Center, Vault 31, Southside Speakeasy, Left Turn, Hit This, Moda Skates, and Umpqua Bank, who have been integral in supporting us in the 2018 MRDA Championships. This is the 8th MRDA Champs.
And the crowd goes wild for stuff.
Yeah, I'm a little confused.
Oh, I think they're saying that the beer is open. It's okay.
That's legit.
Yeah, that is legit. Our fantastic house announcers are definitely revving up the crowd. Biggie Talls and Rippy.
That makes a lot more sense. I was like, what happened? Is there a cat on the track? What's going on?
You see all the fans. See some of the Texas skaters up there after their big win over Magic City coming back. That was a great game.
No, it was amazing.
One of the many.
I've been so, yeah. There's not a game this weekend that oh, sorry, here comes Bambi.
1-7 has been expelled for an egregious back block.
So he's been expelled for, so that was number 17, Zimmer, for expelled for an egregious back block, but he already had committed 7 penalties.
Well, the back block.
The back block, yeah.
Yeah, I mean the back, like there is a spot on the tracking sheet for like 8.
So he has been both fouled out and expelled simultaneously.
Yeah. I think the gist of it is by.
Either way, the outcome is the same. Big Sexy putting on the star for the first time. He's going up against Yas Laminas, and everyone turns into a pretzel.
Oh, Big Sexy looks like his helmet was about to pop off, but here is the Big Sexy jam. Oh, I bet this is what everybody was so excited for. I don't know how I missed him on the jam line. Oh, but he's headed to the box for a high block.
And the crowd does not like it.
No one is happy with that. I mean, the refs are just doing their jobs.
Except maybe some of the Toulouse skaters.
Sure.
I'm sure they're happy about it. And if you're a fan of Toulouse, but yes, Leminos gets 5.
Attack of the 9-foot jammer.
5 points on the board, bringing it up to 10 points total for Yas Leminos as we're approaching 2 minutes remaining in this game.
Just so smooth through the pack.
He
is. You see him go up, you see him go down, and he's through, and there's 5 points. It's just absolutely beautiful. It's so fluid.
It's all these Toulouse jammers. They all do that.
I know.
They're a really fun team to watch.
Absolutely. Yes. So many wonderful styles to witness this weekend.
And we can hear the entire crowd chanting now for Big Sexy.
Yeah.
Who has
demanding.
Yeah, demanding Big Sexy.
The Big Sexy jam that we were essentially denied by high blocking.
Yeah, he does have 6 penalties now, but less than 2 minutes remaining. It could be potentially our final jam of the game for these two teams of the year. And lead jammer going to Thortank. Lodge will have the star for Vancouver. We are now less than 90 seconds. Thortank looking for him. Nobody has, or I'm sorry, Thortank is the lead jammer. There was a star pass to Stark, or a Stark pass, if you will.
Wow, I will not.
We've had enough puns for one day.
I've had enough puns for
Champ
a lifetime.
pun kind.
Oh, I can't flip this table. There's so many monitors on it.
Yeah, there's a lot of expensive equipment here.
I don't think I can outrun everyone.
There is an inflatable couch you can throw if you need to behind us.
It's a good couch, though.
No, I want to sit on that couch.
I know. I'm like, I'm gonna have a little lay down after this. I don't know what you're talking about. Throw your own couch. No. There's a 4-4 pass. Or blah blah blah. Yeah, no, I was right.
Yeah, you were.
Pass. 9-4 jam in favor of Toulouse. The overall score 366 for Toulouse. Vancouver Murder at 110. I think we have time for one more jam. And what
Why
kind
not?
of jam will we have?
It's going to be a big, sexy jam, just like the crowd wanted. Sometimes you got to please the people,
Heck yes.
and they're going to love this. People love watching these giant jammers.
I'm a people, and I am pleased right now.
Absolutely. It's been a fun game. And even with the score, you can see that Vancouver's having fun. And Big Sexy gets lead jammer for Vancouver. It don't matter the score. This is what the crowd wants to see right now.
I'm super into this.
It is officially the final jam because the period clock has hit 0. Mosh Pit no Jutsu out of the pack. But Big Sexy is your lead, and everyone falls down. Timber. That was like watching a tree fall in the redwood forest.
I know it. Oh, he's just mowing through. This is actually my favorite kind of jammer, is the one that's just like, I'm just going to go through you.
Yeah, I mean, that's the reason I don't want to block, is because
Make
there are
way.
skaters of that size, and 5'6" me would just turn into a pancake.
Yeah, I could see that.
I'd be crying. Not in the fun way.
I liked blocking because I'm not particularly tall, but I am particularly tall for a woman. So worked out for me.
Big Sexy forced to recycle. Well, I'm glad you announced, because I've had a blast.
No, it's,
And that's
yeah,
it.
This is what I prefer doing. And so, yeah, we saw 4 Big Sexy points. 114 Vancouver, 374 Toulouse, the unofficial score. And so Toulouse is going to be going home with the bronze medals today. So congratulations to them, and hello to their fans, who I presume will tune in tomorrow.
And if you've stayed up with us, we really appreciate it. I mean, especially if you're over in Europe, we know what time it is. Many of you have work tomorrow, so always appreciated.
Definitely. I believe we are going to have an interview coming up soon with Raucous Ron.
And then following that, what we've all been looking forward to, the 2018 MRDA Championship. Defending champion St. Louis Gatekeepers taking on Portland's Bridgetown Menace, the home team, who I'm sure will have the crowd behind them. Maybe some of the crowd also looking for an upset. You know, people like to see a little bit of change in champion, but St. Louis,
Sure.
not just going to give it up.
It's a little like, it was a win, then it was a repeat, then it was a three-peat. Is it going to be a four-peat?
It's not easy to do.
Well, it's also not easy to say.
No, it's not.
I'm not saying throw the game because it's not punny. No.
Every streak eventually has to come to an end.
It's true.
And the Gatekeepers, I believe, were on a 45-game winning streak.
It was 44 yesterday.
So
it was, yeah. Because I remember.
I'm just trying to add one.
It was 43, 44. If they win again today, it will be 45.
Math is hard.
Yeah, I know it.
I had a ghost game in there.
Well, if they win today,
If they win
you
today,
would be
yes.
correct. So
45.
perhaps you're psychic. We don't know.
Yeah, they haven't lost in a few years.
Yeah, it was Brouhaha, I think 2015 to Texas.
Yes, I believe you are right,
Usually.
because I was there and I saw that
I
happen.
never did make it to Brouhaha.
It's a
I always regret that.
Fun place, Milwaukee, really, really nice city.
Yeah.
Very good, and a beautiful venue too. But we have a beautiful venue here, which has provided us such
love
good
this venue.
It's great. It honestly has been great, and I mean, good acoustics, good seats, comfortable seats.
When I first came in, I thought, like, well, this is a bit snug. But I actually, pretty immediately, when people filled in and the derby actually started, because it came in advance, I actually love how this place is set up. And sitting in the stands, it's really easy to see everything. You're right, the acoustics have been brilliant.
There's not really any trackside seating.
How's that?
There's not really any trackside seating.
No, there's no room available for trackside seating in this one, but like you can sit there's no bad place to sit I could find.
No,
I did not go all the way up because I'm not a huge fan of what they call stairs.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, this venue's been brilliant.
You know, I prefer to not sit trackside because I actually like to sit in a chair.
Yeah, that's legit.
I like my legs not to be numb for an hour after I wake up
Yeah,
or stand up.
it just depends on how you feel. Like, I've never been I might loiter trackside, but that's about as good as it gets.
Exactly. These hand slaps here. That's usually where you can find me trackside.
Right. Yeah. I come in for free high fives.
Exactly. I come here to shake hands with sweaty men after they are done on the track. Sweaty humans after they are done on the track.
It's true.
That's why I love roller derby. All roller derby in general. Just for the high fives, the handshakes, the camaraderie, the friendships,
that's
the memes.
I say this every year, but this is the reason this is this is probably my favorite tournament every year is because of the feeling, the camaraderie, meeting new people, seeing old friends. I love the feeling I get from the MRDA and especially the championships.
Everything you just said, I totally agree with and feel the same way. So, it looks like we're going to get ready to send it down to Raucous Ron in just a moment. He is going to be interviewing our friend Mr. Furio. So as soon as we get the signal, we're going to go down.
Okay, so we're going to throw it to Raucous Ron. I'm Julia Sleazer. I've been joined here by Champ Unkind, and thank you so much for tuning in.
Have a decent day.
Raucous Ron standing here with Furio of Toulouse Roller Derby after that fantastic match. How incredible was that?
Yeah, really incredible. It was our second chance in the champs to win something, and we've been building the team really hard during last year. We finished 5th last year, and we really work on building together a strong team, a good cohesion. And it was really hard, but with the World Cup in April and all the building we did with Team France, we got something, and I guess that helped a lot.
Yeah, really fantastic. So, you know, we've seen your team from 2013 when entering the MRDA to now come all the way from a relatively unknown to now 3 in the world. How does that feel?
Well, I feel amazing, actually. It's hard to describe because we dreamt about it so much, but we are finally here. And when we've seen the performances that Vancouver did against our best enemies, SDRD, our friend from London, and we were really afraid about how could end up the game, but it's a surprise and also a reward for our work, I guess.
And this is a question that I've really been wanting to ask. So thinking about, you know, what the international community here with roller derby, but we know that the women of the sport originated it, have developed the sport, and how have women been instrumental in helping to develop your team?
In Toulouse, the women and the men is a big part of the association we have. Our league is a mixed gender league. We have a co-ed history, and we're really proud of it. We have the men building with the women the teams, and the women we're building the team with the guys. And we like to scrim together, we like to train together, and it makes us much better, and we support each other. And we like to put that in front first every time we are outside.
Fantastic answer. Congratulations on your victory, and have a great one. Go enjoy it with your teammates. Yeah, great to see you. Awesome. Well, for Raucous Ron, that'll do it for that interview, and we'll see you at the championship game.